Today's podcast is for anyone who is dating, healing from relationship patterns, or struggling with clarity in romantic interactions. Now, today's goals, we're going to define breadcrumbing and mixed signals. Yes, I think I coined that term, breadcrumbing. Identify red flags and emotional patterns, and I'm going to empower you to set standards and protect your peace. Hello and welcome back to Dr. Frida's Power Session. I am your favorite certified transformational love and relationship empowerment coach because I empower you to take the power back. And if you clicked on this podcast, either you feel like somebody is just leaving breadcrumbs, or you've been having a slew of relationships that is just consistently inconsistent, I got you. Just keep tuning in and we're going to get right into it. So, have you ever felt like someone was interested but never followed through? Maybe that person was you. Let's be honest. Let's talk about why that happened and how to stop chasing breadcrumbs. Do you want to continue to be that in that wandering space with a person that you're dealing with? You're not quite in a relationship, but the person is talking like you all in a relationship, or they are leaving you on the hook to just want more, but they're just not giving you more. That's a state of confusion. And if you follow me, I don't do confusion. Confusion is just a way to mask a lie or a truth. But we don't do confusion, because if you confuse, then it's not right. We only do a truth and a lie. There's no gray area when it comes to that. So, we got the 30 minutes. I like to keep people, honest with their time, because I like to be honest with my time. So we're going to jump into it, starting with, you already know, the definitions, because I don't like to just throw out random terms, these hot button topics or hot button terms that people like to throw out, but you really don't have a clear definition of what it really means. So let's start with the definition of breadcrumbing. And I know, not the breadcrumbs that Hansel and Gretel left to find their way back into the woods. Not the breadcrumb that you get when you baking. No. Breadcrumbing is when someone gives just enough attention or affection to keep you around without ever committing. They're doing just enough to keep you coming back. They saying just enough or the right things to get you to come on back. And their actions is never going to say commitment. It's never going to say a relationship that you're looking for. It's not going to even say the next steps or a future. And you may want that, and you may not want it now, but you may want it in the future. But either way, if you're watching this video, either you or someone you know is in this situation and you want your answers. Okay? So let's talk about mixed signals. We know what breadcrumbing is, right? Just giving you just enough to just keep you around. Mixed signals is conflicting behaviors that create emotional confusion. For an example, you'll have this person texting you every single day. How are you? How was your day? Good morning. I can't wait to see you. They do all this. Then the next week they just ghost you. You like, where is my good morning text? Where is checking on me midday or at the end of my day? It's like it's almost like love bombing. They give you a lot, and then they take it away. Right? So that's the mixed signals. You don't know if you're in a relationship. You don't know if you're in a situationship. You don't even know if y'all friends at this point. You just know that it is consistently inconsistent. And again, like I said, we don't do confusion, because if you're confused, then that means you can't move forward, because you don't even know if this is a relationship that you're in. At this point, you might not even want a relationship with this person because of the inconsistent behavior. Their words don't match their actions. And for me, we talked about the different love languages, and some people are words of affirmation. That's one of my, we all have the same love languages, but it's just in order which one is more important than others, right? For certain people, or for everyone. And for me, words of affirmation is like number 2 on my list, but number 1 is quality time, period. Because your action is way more important to me than what you say. Like I always tell people, I'm an English major, I'm an author, I write, I'm in sales, I'm in marketing, I'm a coach. I understand and I love words. So if you're going to give me these fluffy, beautiful words, it's going to go in one ear, not the other, because that's just, I'm a master of words. But if your action is something different, if your actions follow up with your words, then yes, then we can have a conversation. Okay. But a lot of people are in these situations or in these half-ass relationships that they are being promised one thing but shown another. And that's not fulfilling, which is not sustainable. Okay. So why do people breadcrumb another person? It could be several reasons. But the reasons that we're going to talk about today is the first reason why people are breadcrumbing you or someone that you know is for ego boost or attention seeking. Now we're talking about almost that narcissistic behavior that you are attracting, this person who you're with. But when they say something but do something else, and you come back to them after they broke a promise or never follow up or follow through, it boosts their ego because they are in control. They are in control of the relationship or or whatever the situationship it is. They're in control of your emotions. They're in control of your time. They're in control. And you freely hand it over to them every single time you give this person an opportunity to misuse your trust, to beguile you, to gas you, whatever you want to call it. So for them, it's an ego boost. It's like, yeah, I got this person wrapped around my finger. Watch. And they probably have you on speakerphone. Watch, I'm about to call them right now and just listen how they eat at the palm of my hand. And even if you're upset, you can curse them out. If you go back to that person, it's still an ego boost, because you can do all the cursing and not talking to them for a week or put them on silent treatment. But if your action goes back to that person after they consistently abuse your trust, it's an ego boost. You're not winning. They are. Okay? Another reason why people like to breadcrumb other people or breadcrumbing people is the fear of commitment. So some people may not want you, but they don't want someone else to have you either. So it's kind of like that 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because commitment for some people can be very, very scary. Maybe they had a previous relationship that was very toxic and bad, and they don't want to repeat that. I don't know. I'm just saying these are some of the reasons why people are breadcrumbing you or a loved one, okay? Or a person, your coworker. Let's just say your coworker, right? But it is the fear of commitment. They want to keep you around long enough to see if this is something that they want long term. But here's the thing. They have made the decision to hold you on and dangle you around to see if you fit their lifestyle. But have you all had that conversation to see if you want them in your life? And see, people don't have these type of conversations because they're scared to lose the person. You can't lose something you never had. It's just how it is. Another reason why people breadcrumb other people or breadcrumbing. I love that. I'm coining that term. Is the lack of emotional maturity. I cannot tell you how many times I talk, this is not even coaching, talk to people who do not have emotional intelligence. And these are not children or teenagers, these are adults. I mean, big grown adults. They've been adulting a long time, but they never process their emotions, whether it was stuck in trauma, whether they never knew how to just process it through, talk it out, feel into it. They don't have that emotional maturity or that emotional intelligence to progress in a relationship. And you're pulling from someone, asking them something that they cannot give you. I'm not saying they can never give it to you, but at this point, they are incapable of giving you what you need emotionally because they're not emotionally mature. These are the type of people that I suggest counseling, therapy, coaching, journaling, meditating, being one with self. It's so many things that people can do to get back to self and evolve and mature emotionally. So I want you to realize that some of those examples that I just gave you, it's a host of other examples why people breadcrumb you or a loved one. And breadcrumbing is synonymous with manipulation. That is, if you don't like the word breadcrumbing, it's manipulation, right? It's a form of mixed signaling. And I want you to realize that breadcrumbs are not love. They're not. They're leftovers from someone who isn't ready to feed your soul. And once you realize that and accept that, because you can realize it, but it's up to you to accept it, you have to make the decision for yourself because you are your number one priority. You can't be that student, you can't be that mother, you can't be that father, you can't be that employee, you can't be that entrepreneur if you don't have you together. And you not together if you dealing with somebody who is playing with your feelings, who is playing with your time, who is playing with your emotions. They're breadcrumbing you. They're manipulating you. They are giving you mixed signals. That's not okay. All right. So let's talk about some red flags and self-awareness tools because we know what breadcrumbing is. We know what mixed signal is. We heard some examples of what breadcrumbing is, right? So let's talk about some red flags and self-awareness tools because at some point you have to move from victim to victor. You have to move from ignorance to awareness. And it comes to a point where a person is only going to play in your face if you allow them to continue to play in your face. What are some red flags of breadcrumbing? Consistent communication, number one. Inconsistent. We said that was one of the examples. They'll text you every day for a week straight, maybe a month. Then the next week, they just ghost you. Nothing. Then they'll come with some lame excuse. The mama had surgery. The baby need a new pair of shoes. They lost the job. They have every excuse under the sun. Is it valid at this point? Not to be, mean, but who cares? Because now you have to start looking at the patterns. It's not just this one off that this happened. This consistently happens. That should tell you something right there. Okay? They have inconsistent communication. And when they come back, they can bring you flowers, they can sing your praises. And sometimes, most of the times, you take them back. Why? Well, a host of reasons, but that's on your end. We talked about some of that last week. Okay? But like I said earlier, it is up to you if you continue to accept that type of behavior. And it also says a lot about how you see yourself if you accept that type of behavior. But that's a different video for another day. Another red flag of breadcrumbing is future faking. Excuse me. That means big promises with no follow through. Oh, baby, we gonna take this vacation. I'm gonna take you to this place. We're gonna go here. If it's long distance, I'm gonna fly in. I'm gonna fly you out. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. It is not true. It sounds good, and it's almost like that little child hoping for their parent to finally come through, right? And it's like you want to believe the promise so bad. But even deep down, you know it ain't true. You know it's not true. But you still want to believe in some type of hope. You do. It's just the human nature. But that's when you have to start looking at the patterns, putting yourself first and your emotional needs first. Because they putting themselves first. They doing it. They do it every day when they break those promises to you. You're not that little child anymore that's waiting for that fairy tale ending. Stop putting yourself in those situations. Another red flag of breadcrumbing is emotionally hot and cold. That's emotional abuse. You hot one day, you all in, you in love. Then the next day you cold. You don't want to talk. You don't want to be bothered. You don't want to be touched, seen, like. And if it's a mental or a chemical imbalance, then that's help for that as well. But again, until that person is able and available, that's that person's process to get through their issues. You don't have to be alone for that journey. And if you do, then that's solely up to you. Like I said, I always come to you. I give you information to empower. This is a judge-free zone. It's up to you to realize and remember your own power. I'm just helping you remember your own power. That's it. But that emotionally hot and cold, that's not sustainable either. And that is emotional abuse. Okay? And when you continue to get these breadcrumbs in relationships, you start to feel anxious instead of secure. You don't want to be in a relationship, and maybe you do, I shouldn't say that. A healthy relationship gives you security. It gives you transparency. A dysfunctional relationship gives you confusion and make you feel anxious. If a person makes you feel anxious, insecure, then you have to ask yourself, is that worth your emotional stability? Is it worth you having this person in your life? And hey, this could be a parent, this could be a best friend, this could be a child. This topic is for anyone who is abusing and taking advantage of you emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, whatever. So this breadcrumbing mixed signal is for, it doesn't have to be someone that's you're romantically involved with. This could be a parent. Okay, I had a client that it was it was her son that was doing this. We had to work through that because she wanted to manifest a relationship and she wanted to get married, but she kept selecting people that was a prototype of her son who was using them. We had to work through. We had to work through some childhood stuff, and we had to, build up that emotional strength to the point where she had to cut off her son. Is their relationship better now? Yes, it is. Because now he doesn't see her as a bank account. He see her as his mother. Once you teach people how to treat you, they'll fall in line or they're going to fall off. That's just how it is. All right. So when these people or you continue to allow these people to have this emotional toll on you, you will continue to have doubt and insecurity. You will have low self-worth and you will have emotional dependency. That's why, like I said earlier, it's an ego boost for them because they know that they can disappoint you every time and they'll come back with some Walmart flowers, some grocery store flowers, and say, baby, I'm sorry, and you will take them right back. No shade to the grocery store flowers, but I'm just saying. They'll know that you're going to take them back. So, how can you get your power back? Because you are powerful and you deserve love. You deserve the relationship, the love. You deserve to have the best relationship. I don't care if it's with a romantic person or a platonic relationship. You deserve it. So, what are you currently accepting that leaves you emotionally starving? And like I said, this is no judgment because we've all been either the receiver or the giver. Okay? In the breadcrumbing game. And sometimes we've been both. I'm just saying. But seriously, what are you currently accepting that leaves you emotionally starved? The sex could be good, but that ain't sustainable. It's not sustainable. Your human nature is going to starve for emotional connection. That's just how it is. If the chemistry is there, great. But what else? What else? So, what are some tools or resources you can use to empower yourself to either get out of this relationship, or if you're not in this relationship, to not attract this relationship? Because we all know, and maybe you don't know, we attract what we energetically can handle, what our cup can hold. It's not what we say, is what we believe we deserve. So how can I empower you to expand your cup so you can hold more love, more joy, more peace, more clarity, more laughter? Because we all want that happy ending, and everybody happy ending looks different. So the first resource or tool that I want to leave you with is I want you to do some ethnography on yourself. So when I was getting my doctoral, when you're getting your PhD, it's different types of, you can either do quantitative or qualitative research, right? And we learned this in like ethnography. And I was like, I like the way that sounds. Ethnography. It's basically the study of people, except you're going to study yourself. So I want you to journal emotional reactions after an interaction. When that person love bomb you and text you every single day and do this and do that and then just go ghost, I want you to, and you don't have to write it down, you can make a note on your phone, but I want you in that moment, I want you to document how you're feeling. How does that make you feel? Because what we humans, we forget, we have a short memory on how we feel. It's like that's why we can go back to exes, because we can remember all the good times, but we forget about the bad times. So I want you to document it in that moment how you feel. How did you allow that person to make you feel? Document it in that moment. Your phone is dry. You text them, they ain't text back. You call them, they ain't answering the phone. I want you to document that. How did that make you feel right in the moment? Don't wait. Just take your phone, make a voice note. Today is fill in the blank, give the backstory of what happened briefly, and then say how you feel. And you don't have to share this with anybody, so you don't have to be like, oh, I should say the right words. No, this is between you and your higher self. That's it. And then I want you to save those receipts. I want you to track the consistency, the words versus the actions. So I want you to track the days that this person said they was going to come over and they never did come over. They didn't even call, no show. I want you to keep track of this. We're doing ethnography. We are doing research in the field. We are studying, right? And then at some point, I want you to lean into your intuition, because confusion is a sign, not chemistry. One moment. Okay, I had the door open and somebody is, playing the music extremely loud. And I'm like, I hear you, brother, but I'm trying to record. But anyway, so I want you to use your intuition, because confusion is a sign, it's not chemistry. And at some point, your intuition has to kick in. When you know, you just know. No explanation. So, what to do when you recognize the breadcrumbing? Call it what it is: a lack of emotional availability. Stop engaging in half hearted energy. And I want you to set, or I suggest you set clear boundaries. When you see these inconsistencies, you can stop and say, I'm looking for something consistent and emotionally present. This isn't it. Because again, your responsibility is to yourself. If they're not showing up for you, why are you showing up consistently for them to continue to let yourself down? You're trying to pull something from someone that they cannot give you. So redirect that energy to people who pour back into you. We have enough people, energy vampires out here that just sucks the life right out of you. You don't need to continue to have them in your immediate circle. So I want to leave you with a few affirmations that I would suggest you say to yourself in the morning and at night before you go to bed. And the first affirmation is deserve clear, consistent, and committed love. Because you do. The second affirmation is I do not chase. I attract what is aligned with my worth. And thirdly, mixed signals are clear messages. I'm not settling. Okay? So these are some affirmations I would love for you to say in the morning and in the afternoon before you go to bed in the evening. And let me just say this. Will it be difficult just cutting someone off? Excuse me. Yes, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But there is also a process where you have to put yourself first again, or for the first time if you never did that. And I'm actually here to help you with that process. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. And it might be easy for some people. And it might be difficult for some people because, again, like I said last week in my podcast about breakup and divorce, that person occupied a energy in your life, a space. However, if they don't hold you in high regard enough to be consistent with you and your time and your emotional capacity, then why should you have them in such a high regard? So I want you to let confusion be your cue to choose clarity. And people will rise and fall to the standards you set. So you have to start them. So, like I said earlier, if you want a deeper dive and work with me exclusively, you can head over to my website, which I have in the description below. And you can please join my Love Lounge. It is a free community where you hear from me monthly. I drop in and give weekly tidbits. And this is something that I'm not doing on social media. This is just for my private community. It's free and it is a community where we can grow, learn, and empower each other without the stress of someone on the outside coming in with their own personal opinion. We don't have time for that, okay? We are empowering and educating so we can remind ourselves and remember our own personal power. You can also book a free discovery call if you want to work one-on-one with me. I do have some self-paced programs. I'm actually coming out with another self-paced program is how to date online. Yes. And I have some great information because my life partner and I, we met on Hinge. And no, this is not sponsored by Hinge. I'm just saying. But in all seriousness, I want you to just head to the website, join that free Love Lounge, download that free heart center document that just a step-by-step process to help you heal a broken heart. And also book a free discovery call and see if you want to work with me one-on-one. And definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well as share this video with someone that you think may benefit or need to hear some real talk from a real person. This is no fluff and the cute little words and the soft voice. It's just not in me. It's not who I am. That's not how I coach. So share the video. And lastly, before I leave, I want to leave you with this. What's one standard you're ready to stop lowering just to keep someone in your life? I'm Dr. Frida, and I will see you next week.